So, I think most people know what Geometry Dash is. You may have seen the game at some point while you're on the bus going to school, or maybe while you're in the cafeteria somebody was playing it on their phone, but odds are you've seen that little square jumping over some spikes every once in a while. However, for those who don't know what Geometry Dash is, let me just, Geometry Dash is a series of music platforming video games developed by Swedish developer Robert Topala. The game was released on the 13th of August 2013 on iOS and Android, and the Steam version on the 22nd of December 2014. In Geometry Dash, players control the movement of an icon and navigate along music-based levels while avoiding obstacles to spikes that instantly destroy the icon upon impact. Done. Recap over. Now, everything in life evolves, and that includes video games like Geometry Dash 2. I mean, this game just hit its 10-year anniversary not too long ago, and that means we've gone from levels looking like this, to levels looking like this, and this, and this. How the hell is this even possible? What am I looking at here? This is Geometry Dash. Now, you'd think that the fact that this game is 10 years old, and that I have a grand total of... Oh, that's just embarrassing. A good amount of time playing Geometry Dash, you'd think that I'd know how to make a pretty good level by this point, but nope, I have no creating talent whatsoever. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make the worst, most god-awful level in existence, and how to get it rated. Sort of. Let me explain. Remember earlier how I mentioned how Geometry Dash has evolved? Well, that doesn't mean stuff that's exclusively in-game. This includes stuff that's somewhat out of the game, too. For instance, Geometry Dash hacking now looks a little something like this! I mean, what are all these buttons? And that's not all. Something else that's relatively common in GD nowadays are private servers. What's a private server? Well, a private server is basically an entirely different version of Geometry Dash that is completely separate from the main game. These servers run off an entirely different database, they are run by an entirely different group of people, they have entirely different levels. It's basically an entirely different experience of how to play the game. And amongst all of these private servers, there is one that is absolutely perfect for what we're looking for. The worst Geometry Dash private server, where only the worst Geometry Dash levels are rated. Perfect for our task today. So buckle up, get some popcorn, or some other kind of snack if you don't like popcorn. I don't know. Let's do this. Okay, so how do we start? Well, we start with Step 1! Download the Worst GDPS. In order to do this, you're going to want to join the official Worst GDPS Discord server, head over to Downloads and Links, scroll up to the top of this page, and click on the appropriate link depending on the device you're playing on in order to download the files. Once you have downloaded those files, you can then move on to Step 2! Open the Worst GDPS.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier.
Amazing. Step 3, create a new level. To do this, click on the button on the right, head to the Create tab in the top left corner, then click on the pink New button in the bottom right corner, which will then present you with the level name and optional level description menu. While we're on the topic of level names, by the way, Step 4, giving your level a name. Now, your level name can be literally anything. I mean, we've had some truly incredible level names throughout the years with all this edge, like Abyss of Darkness. But since we're going to be creating the worst level of all time, we want to pick something truly awful. I mean, something that is just absolutely rancid. You know, something that is worse than the smell of rotten eggs. Something that is absolute— Attack of the Rizzlers. Thanks, Nate. Although, to be fair, level names on the Worst GDPS don't get that much better. I mean, we have Ligmo, Skibbity Toilet, Dislocated Deer— Wait a minute, why did I make this? Step 5, picking a song for your level. One of the great things about Geometry Dash is that it comes with over 1 million songs that you can download off of Newgrounds and use in-game. Add on the fact that the Worst GDPS gave you the ability to upload your own songs, you pretty much have an endless selection of music if you want to upload any song. I mean, you can upload anything. And I mean literally anything, because someone made a level you literally using farts.
Why are you like this?
However, there is no song you need to specifically pick in order to make your level that much worse. You can go with pretty much anything. I ended up going with Rose by Corn and Beans, but again, you can literally pick any song ever. So feel free to get as creative as you want. If you're struggling to think of a good song, just browse through the Levels tab and see what you can find. Play through the levels a little bit, and listen to the songs, and see what you like. Step 6. Build some very boring gameplay. Now, gameplay is one of the most important things when you're building a GD level, but since we're building a really bad level, we're going to want to do this in a very specific order in order to make sure we can get it as bad as possible. So to start, you're going to want to pick the slowest in-game movement speed by clicking on this arrow in the settings menu, because we want something slow and boring, not some fast-paced, energetic, top-1 gameplay. We want to bore the hell out of whoever decides to play this god-awful level. Next, you're going to want to build some very blocky and bland gameplay. Something along the lines of this, you know? Keep it basic, just a couple of jumps here or there, add some spikes if you want to spice it up, but keeping it basic is the overall goal. Once you have 10 seconds of gameplay, you're going to want to swap up the game mode just so that we have a tiny bit of variety. You can go with any of the other game modes. I decided to go with ship, and you're going to want to create another 10 seconds of similarly blocky and bland gameplay with a couple of spikes here or there. And then, you're going to want to do this one more time with another game mode, I chose ball, and you're going to do this until we now have 30 seconds of gameplay. This is the perfect length for our level, as it just barely fits into the rate requirements. We're not fully done yet with the gameplay, but we can move on to the next step for now, and that is Step 7, build some amazingly bland decoration. Now, as I showed you earlier, it has gotten to the point where a Geometry Dash novel can now look like this. I mean, how is this even possible? However, as I'm sure you're already aware, we're going to be doing the exact opposite of what this is. So, to start, grab a color trigger, place it at the start of the level, and hit the Edit Object button. Select a color of your choice. It doesn't matter which one you pick, so I'm going with blue. Set this color to both the background and the— Oh my god, this is so boring, isn't it? Okay, you know what? We're going to explain just this entire step, the entirety of Step 7, in what took me originally 6 minutes in the next 15 seconds, so place these white blocks on top of an entire structure, change the colors so that they match somewhat similar to the background, place a tiny piece of decoration on top of them, duplicate this design and place it on top of every other single block in the level, and then change up the color a couple times, and then wow! Look at that! That only took like less than 15 seconds, and that was very easy, right? Step 8, adding a background. To do this, you're going to want to take any decoration object, go onto the back of this layer, and just place a whole bunch of them all over the place, or copy and paste a bunch, whichever works for you. Give these objects a color and add them to a group. You're then going to want to add a move trigger, make sure the group numbers match, set the move time to 100, and then put the X distance to anywhere between 1,000 and 5,000. So that way, it looks like the objects are kind of moving along the level with you. And bam, you have a background. Now I'm hoping there's at least one person out there who is thinking, but Beckett, this level doesn't really look that bad. And hold your horses, because the next step is where things are really going to start to get bad. Step 9, make some of your gameplay invisible. Quite literally, what you're going to do is select random bits and pieces of your gameplay, set them to a new group, add an alpha trigger, and make sure the groups match up, and then you're going to take the opacity slider and drag it all the way to the left, so that way your objects are completely invisible. Now you're probably wondering, why is this bad? Well, I think you can agree with me when I say that the worst thing and last thing that anybody wants to die to while they're playing a level is something that they can't even see. So we're off to a good start. What else can we do to make this work? Step 10, add random text everywhere. What you're going to want to do is you're going to take the text object and edit it to say some very random things. So I'm talking things like dead memes. I'm talking random unrelated topics. I'm talking about just very poor or bad English. Just all of it. Throw all of it in there and put it just on top of the level. Step 11, plagiarism. Yes, I'm serious. Steal random things from other levels, like this big piece of text, or this art of SpongeBob. I absolutely promise that before I copied him into this level, this was a yellow sponge with an incredible amount of potential at making Krabby Patties. SpongeBob, if you're still alive, please say something. SpongeBob? SpongeBob! Step 12, add rotating objects that spin very fast. What you're going to want to do is add some random objects and add them all to a new group, sporadically throughout the level, by the way. And then you're going to want to add a rotation trigger, make sure the group between the rotation trigger and the objects line up, and then make it so that the objects perform a ridiculous amount of rotations. So that way when you look at it in the level, it's just really annoying to look at, and also it kind of looks like the level's like going through like some kind of weird seizure. I don't really know. Yeah, it looks bad. But there's one last thing we're going to want to do. Step 13, the last step of the creating process at least, is to create a boss fight. Now I know that might sound extremely complicated and that it's going to require a ton of time and effort, but it really doesn't. I mean, a boss fight can quite literally be a boss that just summons in, performs a single attack, and then just dies. Actually, that's exactly what our boss fight is going to be. Now, your boss fight can quite literally be anything. I made mine this pixelated angry face named Rizzler, because the level we're building is called Attack of the Rizzlers, so I thought it made sense. And in order to make the world's worst boss fight, there's 3 things that we're going to need to do, which I already mentioned, but we're going to repeat them in actual miniature steps now. First, add the boss to a group, add a move trigger, and make it follow your exposition. Second, add a bunch of monsters or spikes off screen, add them to another group and move trigger, and then have them move from off screen into the level on screen, and potentially be able to kill the player. Lastly, add another move trigger that connects to the same group as the boss, and have him teleport off screen. And that's it. That's the world's worst boss fight. And with that, my level is done. Now, in your level, you can still do whatever you'd like. If you have some idea that you want to incorporate in your level, like adding random color changes, or add a second boss fight, feel free to do that. It's your level, so you ruin it. Now, even though your level's done being built, there are still a few more things that you're going to need to do. And that starts with step 14, verifying your level. Now, just because you're finished with your level doesn't mean you can upload it quite yet. You need to be able to actually complete your level in normal mode in order to actually be able to upload it to the servers. So that means you have to verify your level, and I have to verify mine. Which, actually, me having to beat my level actually gives me a good chance to show you my finished product. So, let's see how Attack of the Rizzlers came out. Now that was art. Alright, we're in the home stretch. Next up, step number 15, uploading your level. To do this, click the button to the right of the play button over here, rate your level on a difficulty scale between 1 through 10, and then click the upload level button. With your level uploaded, there is now only one step left, getting your level rated. In order to get your level rated, you're going to want to send a request for your level to get rated in the Worst GDPS Discord server's Rate Suggest channel, and then you're going to have to wait. Or you could alternatively just, I don't know, maybe get a hold of your friend who may or may not be a part of the moderation team, and then bada bing, bada boom, you have a rated level. Congratulations, you did it! Sort of. So, I guess, sort of, congratulations. Okay, so at the time I am currently recording this video commentary, I guess, or not really commentary, I guess just clip. It is 1:11 a.m. on October 26, 2023, which means that I will be showing this to everyone in a little under 10 hours from now. When you guys do see this, so you already have seen it, you just finished it, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I didn't just make you sit through a bunch of confusion for 15 minutes, but I hope you at least enjoyed the silliness of the video, and that's about it. I'd say, you know, see you later, or have a good one, but I'm literally sitting a few feet away from you at the time you are watching this, so that kind of sounds stupid. So, thanks for watching through this video, and I'm gonna go get some sleep.